Some daily routines are good.
Time to hit the gym.
Some aren't so good.
Time to hit the buffet.
Walmart has everything you need for the good kind, like one-a-day vitamins, 65-count 50-plus, or 70-count VitaCraves, each only $6.97. And 10-count airborne dual-action effervescent tablets for just $10.97.
Time to hit Walmart.
Exactly. Save money on the little things that make a big difference. Start strong. Save big. Walmart.
Blog Talk Radio. Inspiring growth now with intensity and transparent energy. If you're tuned in, this means you're now ready to make the shift from ordinary to absolutely amazing. Welcome to Ignite Your Life with Toy Parker, a show where you will always get the sparks you need to ignite your life and live the epic life now that you deserve today.
You can't go through life not ever facing rain. Just when you get comfortable, that's when everything can change. I kept holding on to the strongest thing I know. At times I felt like giving up. I guess that's the way life goes. Though there were times all I had was faith, I just kept believing. Now somehow, someway, I'm still standing. I'm still standing. I'm still standing, yes. I'm still standing. I've weathered the storm, walked through the rain, tread through the water, been through the pain. I've done the best that I can do. After all that I've been through, I'm still standing. I finally reached a place where I can hear the way. For there's a song within my heart, playing louder every day. I close my eyes and lift my head, stretch my arms out wide. I can feel the wind beneath my wings as I begin to rise. Though there were times all I had was faith, I just kept believing. Now somehow, someway, I'm still standing. I'm still standing. I'm still standing, yeah. I'm still standing. Don't you know? I've weathered the storm, I've walked through the rain, tread through the water, been through the pain. I've done the best that I can do, and after all that I've been through, I'm still standing. No matter which way the wind blows, now nothing can hold me down. I'm stronger than I've ever been before, 2 feet on solid ground. I'm still standing. I'm still standing. Hey,
Yes, yes, yes. Not only am I still standing, but I am happy to be here with you another year. Yes, this is your host, Toy Parker, here on Ignite Your Life with Toy Parker. I am so excited about this evening in particular because I have an amazing group that's coming on with me tonight. I'm going to bring them all one at a time, and then we're just going to really just have a blast. I just know it. But I want to say a special thank you to each and every one of you out there. The boards are lit up. Area codes, you guys know I'm still learning area codes because it's happening all around the world. So good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are around the world. Thank you so much for joining me for another year. Another year. Can you believe we've been on the air a whole year? I'm so grateful and so thankful for each and every one of you out there. And tonight we're going to be talking about a special topic that's kind of close to my heart. And it's stemming from a conversation that I had when I was a guest host on Real Talk with Chris Richardson, actually. And we were talking about the blended family. And, you know, I did this post and I did this tag, Bring Back Our Families. And it just really stuck with me. And, you know, the Holy Spirit, you know how he does, you know, I said, you know what, whatever topic I had for Thursday, I'm going to change it. This is the topic. Because what better way to start out the new year than to actually discuss real time how to bring back our families and to put an end to broken homes and to give practical solutions on how to actually prevent more broken homes. Because once it's broken, a lot of people think, you know, nothing can be solved or it can't be fixed. There's nothing you can do. You know, everybody's divorced and gone their separate ways. But there are children involved a lot of times, and there is another element. And sometimes even when there's no children, here's the thing. You still built relationships with other people. And sometimes you never know how God is going to move through those other relationships. So there's so many different dynamics when it comes to our family and the family units and the nucleus of the family unit that we're going to actually delve into and discuss tonight. I want to do a little bit of housekeeping because I have some great announcements. So I wanted to spend a little time with you first and foremost before we get started. I will not be doing PowerPoints tonight. It will be complete conversation. This is definitely a special episode. So remember, during our holiday specials, I tend to do more conversation than PowerPoints in the beginning. So we're going to dive right into conversation out of the break once I'm done with the housekeeping. So just wanted to let you all know, if you have not joined our Facebook group yet, be sure to go to the upper left-hand corner or whichever corner that has a little search area and type in #IgniteYourLife so that you can become a part of the group. You can get updates on events and places where I'm speaking around the country, definitely around the world as it relates to online media. So I won't limit myself there. So definitely, as I'm on other shows, I definitely want you to be with me and join me in those conversations. So if you have not had a chance to join, please do so. If by chance you have not had a chance to join my Facebook group, please do so. And if you haven't had a chance to like my Facebook page, the business page, I have the special solution for everything. I've been working really hard trying to figure out easier ways to manage the social network. So if you go to toyparker, I'll tell you a little bit about me. For those who are new listening in, you want to know a little bit about me, and it'll be updated this week, actually, because there's some great updates that I need to share. But if you look at the upper, go to the right-hand side, and you can see where you can actually just one click away, and you can go ahead and join me on all the social networks. And I have another special place. I'm actually in the midst of doing a total redesign of the Ignite Your Life with Toy Parker radio and television network. I've created a brand new YouTube channel, and I thought to myself, how can I have it where everyone can just go to one place to go ahead and connect with me? Well, I decided to share with you all my Google Plus page. So be sure to connect with me on Google Plus. My address is google.com, and then I think it's /plus Toy Parker Media.
So the plus address is plus Toy Parker Media. So once you look up that, go to that page, and there's a list of links, and you can click. You can join the Facebook group. You can click to join, to like the Facebook page. You can click to subscribe to the new YouTube channel, which actually has some new things up there. And I'm going to be bringing in a whole lot of different things. I have different shows that I'm actually going to be adding on to that network. It's going to be blazing amazing. So as I'm working behind the scenes doing the production to put that channel together, I am really, really, really excited. And at the end of this month, on January 30th, I am doing my first webcast series. Woo! So I'm really excited. So I'll be doing a live webcast, which will be a live talk show, preparation for the actual in-studio talk show, the Ignite Your Life with Toy Parker talk show that's going to be shot in Maryland later on this year. So God is moving, and I just had all this great information I wanted to share with you first and foremost because I'm really excited about what God is doing in my life, and I want to continue to be a living testimony that no matter what, you can push through to your breakthrough, no matter what's going on in your life. It doesn't matter. When life happens, the question is, what are you going to do with your life when it shows up? What are you going to do? So with that being said, what we'll do, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back from the break, we're going to have an amazing conversation with our guest tonight. I have not one, not two, but three. And also, just as a note before we cut to break, if you have not scheduled your Ignite Your Life with Toy Parker breakthrough session, be sure to go to toyparker.com, click on the tab that says free Ignite Your Life with Toy Parker breakthrough session, and there is a link to get put on my calendar. It actually literally goes straight to my calendar once you make that appointment. The January calendar is almost full, so definitely if you haven't gotten a chance to, please do so. And I do want to say a special thank you to all of my clients out there, all of my collaborators, partners, business partners, and just friends and family, the entire community that supports this Ignite Your Life movement. I could not do it without you. And especially those who have been praying for me. Thank you, thank you. The fervent prayer of the righteous availeth much, because God has definitely and is still taking me to higher and higher and greater levels, and it wouldn't happen without you and without God. So thank you. So we'll be right back.
Amazing grace saved a wretch the difference in my life. Why say His amazing grace saved a wretch like me? God is love. The promise He gives me has transformed my life into victory. The promise He gives me has truly blessed my life more abundantly. God is good. He's so good. He's so good. He's so good. God is good. He's Won't you share my world? Won't you share my world? God is
And that was Bunny DeBarge with the exclusive track that was heard here first, right here on Ignite Your Life with Toy Parker Radio. And it is now available in stores. My good friend Bunny DeBarge, so grateful for her support and endorsement of me as not only a media professional but a publicity person. So it's just been amazing, the support from her and her family. Thank you so much, Bunny. You're out there listening. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, before that, the first song of the night was from our VIP Ignite Your Life Platinum sponsor, Jason Peele, who is based in Atlanta, Georgia. And he's also comes on the air once a month to co-host with me for my special segment, The Love Factor. So just want to say a special thank you and Happy New Year to you, Jason, out there listening. Thank you. And now, yes, I am so excited. I know Lorinda's like, I can hear her octave go up, so she knows it's time for me to bring her on. I'm going to do a mic check first. Lorinda Reddie, I'm going to call you Ever Ready. So, mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm doing great. How are you?
I am wonderful, Toy. Thank you so much for having me on tonight. I am so excited, of course, you know, about this topic. It's just phenomenal, and it's time to set 2015 on fire. We're about to stir some things up, are we not?
Yes, absolutely. And that's exactly why I wanted to bring you all on tonight, because we had such, just to kind of catch the audience up. You all, I had such an amazing conversation on Monday night, and thank you, a special thank you to all listeners who joined me when I was a co-host on Real Talk with Chris Richardson on his show. Thank you so much to all of those who actually joined me over there. So, in this side of the neighborhood of media, I decided to go ahead and kind of spin off from that conversation because it didn't need to end. In my opinion, it just really resonated with me. And, these are conversations that we need to have globally all the time, and to bring solutions that are practical. And that's what I love about our conversations. When we talk, we don't just talk. We always give practical solutions so that people can understand that you don't have to stay in that situation, that the situation does not define you. You know what I mean? So tell us a little bit about you, and tell us a little bit about your background, especially for those who are new to you, because you're first time here on the network, on the Ignite Your Life Toy Parker Radio and Television Network. I'm just so excited. I'm about to give you some applause just because. You get some applause just because. Oh, my gosh, because I know this is about to be a amazing conversation, and I'm just so excited.
Oh, thank you so much
my
once
God.
again, Toy. Thank you so much. So a little bit about me. As Toy had mentioned, my name is Lorinda. I go by Ren, last name Reddie, but everybody knows me on social media as Ren. I am also a host, producer, owner of the talk show Woman to Woman. I have sort of taken a break this past year just to do some behind the scenes, working on some projects with, as you know, with Chris Richardson, who is also the host of Real Talk. I also am a blogger, currently an author. I have a couple of ebooks right now at the editors, waiting to launch and go forward. So
Wonderful.
I'm really excited, and I am passionate, to say the least, Toy, about family. I could tell you the reasoning behind being on the Chris Richardson show. His series, we talked about the blended family, the broken family, and rebuilding the family. And I identified in each one of those areas. I was brought up in the blended family, was a part of a broken family, and now I'm on the quest to rebuild the family. Not only did I grow up in that environment, but also I grew up and had the same situation sort of repeat itself. I was married twice. I'm now divorced, and my children are now going through the product, or they are the product of a broken family. But you don't have to stay broken. You don't have to stay in that pain. That's the excitement about it. We have some things that we can do to change that and set the course for the next generation. That's very, very important to me, is once I seen it happen in my life, and then, going through it myself with my children, I said, oh, no, we can't do this. This will not go into another generation. So I'm excited because guess what, folks? We're going to stop this. We're going to nip it in the bud.
Yes.
No more brokenness. We're saying, as Toy said, bring back our families. Yes, so I'm truly, truly excited to be a part of this exciting time and this dream team, as we have deemed ourselves, to be the voice and continue this conversation. Something that you said, Toy, which was so prevalent. These conversations are needed. But here's the deal, folks. Not only do we need the conversation, but don't let the conversations die. We have to continue. We have to continue with the momentum. Oftentimes, it's the new year. We're excited. We got that momentum going. Guess what? This same energy, this same momentum, I want it in June. I want it in September. I want it in December. We've got to keep this going, and we have to keep the conversations going. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of this Ignite Your Life movement for the family.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, you are welcome. You are welcome. I wanted to open up with a question because I brought up a point during the first segment that I think a lot of people kind of take for granted. I'm divorced myself. I've only been married once. However, even with that, there are times when I may have dated someone where I got close to the family, and then next, it's kind of hard because you're not with that person anymore, but you've built these relationships with people, and the reality of that is real, So how, for you, having been married twice, because in the midst of our bringing back our families, some of that is, and people will say, well, I'm not in the past anymore. I'm not with that person. I get that. I totally get that. But what about the children, extended families that we created in the midst of creating that family? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, my goodness. One of the things that we have to understand, Toy, is oftentimes we say we just married that individual. And as you just stated, we don't. I, going through my first marriage and my second marriage, I just didn't marry this man. I married his family. And when the relationship dissolved, not only were we hurt and broken by this, but his family was hurt and broken by this. My family was hurt and broken by this. Everyone, when it was looking at this, is going to be for a lifetime. So you have to really keep that in mind, that it's not just you and this individual. It branches out. How do you deal with it afterwards? It's a very, very sticky situation because the love ties are there. These people are a part of you. And if there's children involved, oh, my goodness, your children are definitely still a part of that. They're connected by blood to these individuals. So you have to really, honestly, and it takes maturity here, is to whatever issues you're having with the spouse, you have to deal with it with that spouse. Continue to love on the family. Continue what has happened between the two of you. Don't bring that in. When the family members want to start talking about, when y'all were together, there's a way to sort of nip that in the bud and just say, I want to talk about our relationship. It's about our relationship. Continuing to build that connection. It's something that we really have to tread lightly with. I don't necessarily think you sever the ties. I am still friends with, or I don't even want to say friends. They're still my family. With my first husband, they're still my family. Those are my kids, aunts, and uncles. I still hang out with them. They still even come to holidays. We just understand that relationship is no longer, but that doesn't mean that our relationship has to sever. So it's just something that you tread lightly. And it takes maturity, honestly. It takes maturity that you don't bring in all the extra garbage and all the extra, attitude. It really does.
Yes. And it's another amazing thing that, and you mentioned a key word, and that word is maturity. In order to bring back our families, we have to come to a place where we remember and understand that it's not just about us. We got to get out of our feelings and understand the entire dynamic of what we are a part of, the entire diaspora, if you will, because it's beyond just us, and it's beyond this family. It's beyond the extended family. I mean, what happens within that family actually impacts the world because and hurt people.
Yes.
So what happens is that energy, be it good or bad, that comes from that broken home starts to infiltrate into the actual communities of each of the broken individuals. It has this incredible ripple effect. So it's so important. It's so important. I love what you said. When you said that maturity, you hit the nail. That was spot on. So then the question becomes, oh my gosh. So then the question becomes, and then, we'll talk about this a little bit, and then we'll cut to break, and we'll bring in our next guest. We're going to keep adding on guests. I love it. We're going to keep adding on until we have everybody, and this is going to be like, awesome.
I hope
my goodness, the fireworks. So, the next thing I wanted us to talk about is co-parenting, because you mentioned it a little bit, but I really want us to get into how important it is. Now, before we do, I do want to preface it with this statement. Male or female, if you're out there and you're keeping your child away from the other person for selfish reasons, to manipulate, to, whatever, you're wrong. And I'm going to tell you, and I need you to hear me when I say this, you need to stop right now. You better just stop right now because it's wrong. It's wrong. Now, I personally, because this is, IGNITE stands for those that don't know, Inspiring Growth Now with Intensity and Transparent Energy. So I'm going to be very transparent. My daughter's father is not in her life, but that is not by choice. Not only did he abandon me during the pregnancy when I was married at the 3rd month of the pregnancy, but I did give him a chance to come back. But he chose alcohol over his family. So he knows, and I have forgiven him. I'm fine. And we've had moments where we've had real conversations. I mean, I've cried and just in anger. I can't believe, this is happening, And even in those moments, he's, when he's asking for forgiveness, I've had those moments and, all of that. And he knows that I'm a woman of God to this day because he says to me, I can't believe that you can even begin to forgive me for the hell that I put you through, knowing that I put you through it. So now he knows that the only way he can see our daughter, I applaud the fact that you're still battling. I get that because that does not go away except by the grace of God if you let him work on you. Because I know people who are alcoholics by definition, but they don't drink anymore. They really don't. They really live, a sober life, But because he still battles that, and he has admitted to me honestly and openly, I told him, you can't, I'm not going to let her see that side of you. It's just, I'm not. Because I am the gatekeeper I am the gatekeeper to her thriving environment. And if that means that, you know, you all can only talk on the phone and I have to make sure you're sober even when we're on the phone, you know, then so be it. I will do that. And if you choose not to call, you know, that's on you. But I told him, you know, I gave him a schedule. Hey, show her that you want to be a part of her life. Give her a call. You don't have to talk to me. I'm okay. I'm okay. Because I'm ready to build my life with someone who wants to be a part of my life and who wants to take responsibility and ownership within the life to be the man that he's supposed to be to me and my daughter. And if you're not that person, then that's fine. But at least be the father to your child, even if it's iPhone. With technology nowadays, there's no excuse. There's Skype. There's Google Hangouts. I mean, look, there is phone, you know, there's everything. There's everything. Emails. Nia knows how to write. You can email her, you know. So, but you choose for whatever guilt. And I told him you got to get past the guilt. You got to get past all that. But I can't make you do that. You have to choose to do that. That's only between you and God. And until that time, just understand that she will learn to live without you. And that is the most painful part for me as a mother, knowing that I have reached out, I've done all the things that I can possibly do, and I had to totally give that situation up to God. So I'm not talking about those of you who are out there who are like me, who would like to have, you know, who want that. I'm talking, and they know who. If you're out there, you know who I'm talking to, and if I'm stepping on your toes, I don't even care, because I am just so serious. I have no apologies. I am unapologetic. I'm going to stomp them. I'm going to stomp them. I'm going to stomp them again, probably by the end of this show. But if you're out there using your child as a chess piece to get some, I'm going to keep it real, to get some or to, you know, just whatever, to try to manipulate and control the situation, you need to really take a look at yourself and understand that that's a very selfish act. You know, that's a very selfish act, and you're tearing apart the family with there's no reason to do that.
I agree with you.
Gotta stop. What are your thoughts? Oh my gosh!
You know
I went on the soapbox. I tried to get down, and then I got back up. Then I got back down. I got back up. But I'm good.
Sister came out there. Sister Modell's
Girl.
sister came out right there.
Girl.
You know what? I totally and completely agree with you on that. A couple of things that you said. So many wonderful things there. But I would like to share with the listeners. When you do that, trust me, when you use the children to manipulate or to control the other individual, I want folks to know just straight up. You may think you're getting away with something now, but the Word of God says you reap what you sow. And check this out, y'all. You reap it in this lifetime. Do not use the children to control someone, to manipulate them, because it's going to be a repercussion that comes back on you that, trust me, you're not ready to deal with. You really are not. So let whatever pain. See, here we are, Toy. When people do that, that's because they're still in pain. They're still hurting deep down inside. So they still have the mentality of, I have to get back at this person for whatever reason. I'm going to get them before they get me again. And see, this is the word again. It's maturity. You got to let it go. You got to let it go. You know, and here's another thing, because I went through it, I dealt with it, I lived with it. If the person is truly not well for the family, there is a way. They will disappear. They will go away. If that is God's intention. If they just are toxic, He will intervene. We need to understand who we serve. He will intervene because you said gatekeeper. I love that. You say gatekeeper, and then I said steward. We hear most of the time steward when we talk about our money in church and paying our tithes. But check this out. God made you a steward over those children that He gave you. Yes. They actually belong to Him. So their safekeeping, you are responsible for. Okay? Their development, you are responsible for. And if you're out there doing something that is going to stifle their growth and cause them pain so that they can grow up and put that pain off on someone else, I'm going to get like Toy. Shame on you. But to your original question, Toy, you talked about co-parenting. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. One of the things I have with my children, and we let that be known, I'm sort of the militant mom. I'm old school.
Me too, honey.
My ex, he's a little bit more lenient than I am. My kids will let you know she's like Drill Sergeant Wren in the house. But one of the things that we have an understanding, there are just basic things that he and I agree on regarding raising the children. Now, with that said, it's just the what I call the normal. You will respect, your parents, hands down. I didn't raise you to be foolish and to do, just go out there and just be all wild. So there are fundamental things that he and I have agreed upon that are just innate within our children. But one of the things that we do is what goes on at his house is his house. What goes on at my house is my house. When you step foot into my house, there are rules, and you will apply by those rules here. Now, if those rules don't apply at your father's house, that's his house. He is the head of that house. Right now, since I'm not married and I am the adult here, I am the head of this house. So you got to put some things in perspective, and you just have to let the kids know. We love you. We want the best for you. These are the rules. These are the umbrella rules of what we've agreed upon to raise you, but these are also the rules that we have in our individual houses. And you respect that, and you uphold it. That's how you do it. And guess what, y'all? You have conversations. You pick up the phone. You have a meeting. I'm good at that. Hey, I will pick up the phone in a minute and say, you know what? So-and-so is acting a knucklehead, and this is what I'm about to do. You have to be able to communicate with one another about the upbringing of the children that you brought into the world together. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yes. Yeah. I agree. It's true. It's true, and then it always goes back to that nucleus of maturity. And then the next thing also, when you think about it, when you keep God at the center, you're able to be more mature because your focus is on Him first and pleasing Him as opposed to pleasing yourself. I just want to applaud you. Yeah, I applaud you.
Let me tell you, Toy, back in the day, I was the knucklehead. I was immature. I wanted my way. I threw a fit. Oh, yeah, a sister girl know how to act up. But when you get serious about your walk with God, when you get serious about following His precepts and principles, guess what? You shut you down and you say, I'm going to do it your way. I'm going to follow what you say, Lord. You submit. One of the things I realize now, if I can't submit to God right here, right now, how am I going to ever submit to the man He brings into my life? So this time period has been a training ground for me. Shut it down. It's called submission. It's time to mature. It's time to do it His way. Get yourself out of it. It ain't about your will. It's about His will. And learn how to communicate. That was a big one. Learn how to communicate what it is that you're thinking, you're feeling. Don't just throw the tantrum. Toddlers do that because they're unable to articulate what it is that they're going through. So, they throw a tantrum, they fall out, they kick, they spit. I used to do that too. I'll admit it. I did the same thing. But you know what? God gives you wisdom. He gives you wisdom to learn, and He will show you. One of the things that I did, Toya, I said, Lord, in my prayer life, I said, Lord, show me. Be careful when you ask God something. Because He's going to do just that. He's going to show you. And then when you turn around and you say, Lord, help me, mold me, help me to be a better mom, help me to understand, give me wisdom, get ready to rock and roll, because everything that you ask, He's going to do it. So I thank God now He's gotten me to a place that I have obtained some wisdom. I have matured, and I'm continuing on this journey, you all. This building the family, it starts with you. You got to stop doing the blame game. You got to look the man or the woman in the mirror, and you have to own your stuff. And then you have to say, it's not what I want, it's what God wants. And there you have it.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, my goodness. On that note, I love it. I'm not even going to add to it. And you know I always have a lot to say. Lord knows. But we're going to stop there, and we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to add someone else on. It's going to be amazing. More blazing, amazing conversation right after this. Oh, my goodness.
Baby, be
And we are back. That was Kimberly Barrett, a former guest on Ignite Your Life with Toy Parker. Another exclusive track that's played that was her cover of Baby Be Mine. She is just doing some amazing things. And this is live, ladies and gentlemen, and the devil is a lie. All of a sudden, my screen went blank. But we will, and see, when you call on Jesus, because I was like, devil is a lie. Okay? Look, I was like, oh, no.
We are not having it.
My God is real in my life. And what's going to happen is this screen is coming back up in Jesus' name. There it is. Lord, Lord, Lord. I was like, oh, no. Okay, so I am moving across the way with different screens here. And it just, but that's okay. That is okay because God is good and I know what I need to do. I am going over here. But Lorinda, I just want to thank you for being here in the beginning conversation to help start us off.
You are welcome.
Lord, I feel like I need a fan. I was about to go get the ushers. They were on the way for real. They were almost there. Told them I held them back. Somebody almost passed out. Thought we were going to have to get the little cloths for the other people.
Get the sheet, y'all.
Girl.
You're going to get splayed out.
I'm trying to tell you. I mean, but see, this is the thing. These are things that people don't want to talk about. You know, these are the uncomfortable parts of the broken family situation. And in order to rebuild, you know, you've got to pick up the glass pieces off the floor. In order to rebuild, you got to take those splinters and, you know, you got to take those boards and you got to get them. You know, you got to pick them back up and you got to put them back together the best way you know how. And see, this is the thing. Everybody is doing everything as best they can. So, you know, we're not condemning anyone. We're just trying to help you get better. In order to do better, you got to be better. And you can't be better unless you have knowledge and understanding of what's going on. And we are here to bring an awareness. Yes, you have to want it.
It has to be a craving down in your soul that says, I want better. So for me, it's a craving. I can't even really express it in words because I went through it, because I lived it as a little girl, because I've gone through it as an adult woman. It's a craving in me. I looked at my children, and now I'm also a grandmother. So I look at the next generation, and I say, oh, no, this must stop. This cannot go on any longer. I've seen the generational pattern. It happened with my mom and with my grandmother. My mom and my grandmother and my grandfather split. My mother split. You know, then it happened to me. I said, "Oh no, this is a generational thing here."
Stop. Yes.
Someone has to take the bull by the horn and say, "No more." Someone has to say, "I'm about to get Sister Odell here." Someone has to stand boldly and tell the enemy, "You will not have my family." You have to this has to be so resonated down in you to say no more. No more hurt, no more pain.
Yes.
You have to be, and you have to want to do the work. You have to say, you know what, Lord, if you start with me, I'm good. Start with me. Show me. You know, help alleviate the pain in me so that I will not put that off on anybody else. It's courage. It's courage. Yes. You got to say no more. So I tell you, this gets me excited because I don't want to see it anymore. I see it all over. I see the hurt. I see the pain. You know, in my brothers and my sisters' eyes. I see it in the children. I don't want to see the pain anymore. I want healing. And I know with every fiber of my being that I serve a God who is all about healing. He came and died for us to heal us.
Yes,
yes. So guess what,
and that's what,
time to rock and roll.
It's time. It is time. It is. It really is. And the reason why I know people are like, "Toy, you play love music." Yes, I do. Love is my superpower. I don't know what you're talking about. You can, I'm gonna be playing love songs. They're just gonna happen. But reason why I played it specifically, that song, was because the couple that's coming on, oh my goodness, I'm just so proud of them because they are an example of families. You know, that unit, and they did it with God's help. And I really want, I'm going to do a mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Debbie, and Edward, I'm here. How about you? Woo, woo. It's all, we added on 2 more. It's just like a train. We had another stop. We got some more people in the house.
Fist bump, y'all.
Fist bump.
Yes.
Yay. I love, for our listeners who are new and also those who have never heard your testimony, Debbie, can you please, you and Edward, give your testimony of how God has helped you to bring back your family and to just really unite and help you to be the conglomerate superpower of a family that you can truly be with God's help.
Oh, absolutely. First, we want to definitely wish you guys a Happy New Year, and, thank you so much for having us on. So, wow, I have known my husband since I was about 12 years old. We actually attended the same church, sang on choirs together. We always had a friendship. We used to talk about friends and life and, but then life took us down separate paths. I got pregnant, I got married, I moved out of state. He got married, he stayed in Jersey. And then, things kind of fell apart for me. They fell apart. Got separated. I moved back to Jersey because that's where my family was, and there he was. And so the friendship rekindled. He was actually going through a separation and a divorce as well, and the friendship led to something else. And I was just overjoyed. Here I was with these 3 kids, single mother, doing everything on my own, had pretty much done everything on my own, even through my marriage. So, independent woman, and here comes this man. I had prayed to God, man, I want a man who loves you, a man who can lead his household, a man that's going to love my children. And there he was. And I felt that he was an answer to prayer, and when we decided to get married, to me, it was just like a fantasy, My kids are going to have a role model in the house, and, we're going to go to church together, and it's going to be beautiful. Fairy tale. Let's go, God. Thank you.
Right.
Well, listen, joining together and getting into this step family was not a fantasy. It was not a fairy tale. It has been extremely hard work, and God has had to really work on me because when you are an independent woman and when you are doing it all yourself, I'm not going to lie to you, I certainly wore the pants in my previous marriage, and certainly I wore them when I was on my own. So having this man who knows exactly who he is and believes what the Bible says that he is, coming into my life and, asserting that, listen, I'm the head of this household because that is what God says that I am. It was difficult. And, we had some challenges with children, even though I tried to set the stage in the beginning that, listen, he is your step-parent, and you're going to respect him. We've never had that, oh, you're not my daddy, I don't have to listen to you. We've never had that from the children, but they rebelled in other ways. And, there were times when I think we both wanted to throw our hands up. But God is such a good God. And what he did for us is that he placed us in a ministry in our church, a leadership position, family life leaders of our church. And because he placed us in that position, there was this burden on us that, you know what, we're not going anywhere. We're going to stick this thing out. And here we are almost 8 years later. According to statistics, second marriages, 75% failure rate within the first 5 years. And here we are almost 8 years later. We're more committed today than we have ever been. And it got to a point, at one point in our marriage where I had to call a family meeting and call everybody into our worship room and, sit in the middle and look at my children and say, listen, you are not going anywhere. And turn to my husband and say, you're not going anywhere. And now that we have established that nobody's going anywhere, how are we going to make this thing work?
Right.
So we were committed from day one, and God really stepped in. He's the glue that holds us together. And because of him and because of this passion that he has put in our hearts for marriages, here we are, writing books and conducting seminars and, launching couples club for churches. And I just believe that this is what God had in store for us all along. So he's a God of another chance, and he certainly has given us another chance, and we are excited to be exactly where he wants us to be.
Wow, that is amazing. But here's the thing. It took courage for you all to get to that point, because so many, when we're talking about bringing back our families, so many get so close to that point, but they're so exhausted. Mm-hmm. They're so exhausted from the effort. They're so exhausted from just the hanging in there and the trying to hear everybody's opinion inside of the story and where they stand and how they feel. They get so, and then they come to a place of selfishness where, okay, I don't even care anymore. Okay, I'm gonna just do, this is what I think is best, instead of what's best for the family. And I just want to commend you and your husband, because you push through to break through that point, because a lot of people get to that tipping point and they don't go through it. They get to it, but they don't go through it. And you all did. And that's why I wanted your testimony on the air, so that people can understand and hear and realize that people need hope. A lot of people, they would probably get a lot further if they just knew that somebody else has done it, that it can be done. That, yes, you can have a stepchild that just you hates your guts, but guess what? God can turn that thing around. He can speak to that child's heart, and it can flow, and the family can be together. And they'll stop trying to put mom against dad, against stepmom, against the stepdad. I mean, there's so many dynamics and situations, not that it's always the children, because sometimes the parent, the step-parent doesn't want to accept the fact that there is another child. It's hard to accept, because you knew it, but then the reality of it is two different things when you're actually in that situation. And so for those people as well, there's hope for you to understand and love your spouse enough to love that child as though it were your own. I still call him my stepson, even though I'm divorced, Nia's brother, because I feel that because I took care of him as though he were mine, that is why before I got married, I did that before I married him. I took care of his son as though he were my own. I even paid for his child support sometimes, because I did wear the pants in the family. I made the most money. I was in corporate, making quite a bit, blessed and highly favored, and I did not want him to go without. I did not want any child that was associated with me to go without. So I chose to do that. Some would say, you're stupid toy. No, because that child needed what he needed, and I could not, knowing that he needed, not let him suffer, because it's not his fault that his father's not doing what he's supposed to do regarding child support, or is not able to for whatever reason. It's not his fault. And he still, and later on, and I didn't even tell the ex-wife. She found out much later after I had divorced him, and she came to me, and we have like a blended family without the father.
Wow.
Two ex-wives, getting along, co-parenting the children without the husband. I think it's probably a reality show waiting to happen. It's a miracle. I promise you that. It's nothing short of a miracle. I know I'm a woman of God. Because I know. But I share that to say that it's possible. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, no, I was going to, you said something that was just so beautiful about the two of you co-parenting. And I think something that people need to understand about family, if you are a Christian and you are studying the Word of God and you're looking at that, when the Bible talks about family and you look up what that Hebrew word is, it's not it's a clan. The Bible says it's a clan. It's a nation.
Yes.
God looks at it as it's more than that. So you and today, let's fast forward. We talk about the village. It's the village. You were doing what we're supposed to do, keeping the village intact. I love that.
Yes.
I love that.
That's my testimony. It's just a testimony because when we're talking about bringing back our families, I love all of our stories, and we're going to bring Chris on. And Chris, we got you. You're in the green room. Don't worry, we having a party, but we haven't forgotten about you, man. We haven't forgotten about you. But, I wanted us to all share our stories because these are all unique stories of success, and they're from different perspectives and different dynamics. There's so many that we can't. This one show, we're going to have to do a part 2. We'll probably do this once a quarter, really, at the minimum, because there's so many different dynamics to discuss. But I wanted us to talk about our situations, and our testimonies, because like I was sharing earlier, there needs to be hope. So now that you all are on the other side of that, what advice do you have for those that are still going through the blended family, the stepmother, whichever term you like to use, because I know everyone's different. But in bringing back our families, what advice do you have? You shared how you got through it, but what advice do you have for those that are still in it?
Well, the advice that I do have is that, at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's about your purpose. It's about what God calls you to do. When God says to me that I ought to love my wife as he loved the church and gave himself for it, he did not tell me that comes with contingencies. He did not tell me that comes with the fact that my stepchildren are going to love me back. He did not tell me any of that. What he tells me is that, Edward, here is your responsibility. Just stick to your responsibility. Focus on your responsibility, and I can guarantee you, if you continue doing that, you will reap the fruit of your labor. And that's all I want to say to anyone. That's the advice that I want to give right now to everyone out there. It's not about you. It's about your purpose. Focus on your purpose.
That's so good. Debbie, what do you have?
She just stepped out a while ago.
Oh, she did? Oh, no worries. Lorinda, what your advice do you have before we cut to break?
Oh, my goodness. What advice do I have?
Take your time, though.
I was just
all right.
sitting here just taking some notes down, and I was actually going to write this on your wall, Toy, something that just resonates from this group, is that God is using each and every one of us to touch singles. I was just thinking about this.
Yes.
My life is to touch the singles and those that are divorced, to first and foremost work on getting healed and whole.
Yes.
And then as Debbie and Edward talked about marriage, when you go through the healing and the wholeness and God restores you and he brings you a committed partner, the beauty to let everyone know, they're sounding the horn, you can make it, persevere. I just love that. And the MVP, he's not on yet.
Right.
I know, but because I've spoken with him, is if you really want to have the relationship that God ordained, you got to first get that vertical, that horizontal and vertical alignment right, and it has to start with God. I just love that. If you're listening, please do those things. Please have hope. Get healed. Get whole. And then hope, because you know that God is going to restore. He's going to restore it to you. And that he is with you. He is the God of relationships. He ordained them. You can't do it without him. Okay, I hate to tell you. If you're trying, you might have a little bit of success, but you won't have the bomb diggity success unless he is the forefront. He has to be the main one. So that's what I would tell people. You can do it. You can do it.
Mm-hmm.
We're all a witness to that. It can be done. Yay!
Mm. Woo!
Yes, and Toy, this is me. I just wanted to jump, and I know that I missed my turn, but
it's okay.
We got your back. We had your back. Lorinda just talked about in terms of becoming healed and being whole.
Mm-hmm.
Too many times I hear single people talk about, they're looking for that person that's going to complete them. They're looking for, their other half. But you know what? You have to be complete and whole and fulfilled, and you have to have it going on by yourself before you are ready for God to send you that other person.
Thank you.
To deal with the pain of the past. You have to admit that you're broken and hurting, and you have to get help. We don't talk enough about what we feel, what we've been through, how to get over it. We try to work it out on our own, and sometimes that's just not enough. We need that support group. We need to seek out others who have been through similar situations, and like you said, Toy, got to it and came through it. Too many people are giving up. They're giving up on their relationships. They're giving up on themselves. And then you want a relationship. You want God to bless you with someone, but you're still so broken. And that's my advice to people. Don't try to jump into a new relationship when you know that you're still hurting from the last one. We have to learn how to tie up the loose ends, how to forgive, how to be fulfilled within our own selves, find what you're passionate about, find what your purpose is, and then when you are complete and whole and satisfied and you have it going on, God is going to send you that person who's complete and whole, and he has it going on, and now together you will both have it going on for God's kingdom.
Amen.
Lord, amen.
The mic is playing.
Woo! I had to put some applause in because right there I need a fan. Somebody go get an usher. Lord, thank you. No, that's so awesome. It's so amazing. And what we're going to do, once again, that's why I love my guests. I love you all, ladies. I love you all. I'm going to just put a pin. I'm going to put a pin in it right there. That is a perfect stopping point. What we're going to do, we're going to cut to break, and we will be right back with Chris Richardson right after this. And yes, you all know what song that was. Happy by Pharrell Williams. And I want to give a special thank you to everyone out there listening, but definitely I was on Ms. Optimism Speaks show as a special guest earlier this evening, and she has joined us. She's listening out there. Thank you so much, Author LaShawn Renique. You are amazing. Thank you so much for your support. That is awesome. I always want to acknowledge those of us in the business. We do our thing, and then we support others, and I do that for so many people, and I appreciate that you are out there doing the same. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we are back with another segment of Ignite Your Life with Toy Parker. I have wonderful guests, Mr. and Mrs. The Smiths are on the air with me, Edward and Debbie Smith, and we have Miss Lorinda, also known as Ren Reddie. I call her Ever Ready because she just is. So you know that's just your nickname. I will give you. I don't even know what your nickname is outside of Ren, but I'm giving you Ever Ready. How about that?
There it is.
And there it is. And we have been having an amazing time, and I love the post, Lorinda, that you did in the feeds. I was trying to find it real quick because really that's what we're doing. We are helping to hold the hands of those that have not yet gotten to the other side of where we are personally with our walk that in our journey that God has blessed us with. And we're helping. We will hold your hand. That's what this show is all about, and we will do this minimum once a quarter at the minimum. And I just really appreciate you all being on with me in this passionate, this place of passion regarding bringing back our families. And Mr. Author Chris Richardson, don't you worry. I know he's probably like a Double Dutch game episode, even though he doesn't do Double Dutch, but he's rocking back and forth, right? He's rocking back and forth, just rocking back and forth like toy. Yo, hey. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. I am doing great. How about you, Chris? Let me give you your round of applause. Look, okay. Let me give you a round of applause just for showing up. How about that?
Yes.
Thank you so much for hanging in there with us. Thank you, Chris. You know the reason why I wanted to bring you on is because I definitely want that male perspective. I want you to give your testimony first of how you've come through, and now you're actually in a healthy relationship. You're not yet married, but you're on that road. Hey, headed that direction or somewhere in that area. So I won't say because I don't really know, but you're embarking. Well, you hear my disclaimers, right? Because I know this is live, so I'm paid. This is what hosts do. We got to give our disclaimers. I had to throw them out there. Boom. But if you could give your testimony of your journey, and then I want to definitely ask questions from a male perspective on how we can better bring back our family.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's good to be here in spite of all my little silliness. It's 10:48, so I get a little tired. Oh, yeah, we turn up. We turn up.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. We turn up. I'm following Sister Modale, and then I got to follow up behind the tag team of, Lisa Smith, and Edward, and Debbie. And and y'all do this to me? Like, really? This is a setup here. Okay, so if you want me to come in and give a testimony, we can drop the mic and walk away now. It's all good.
You is kind, you is important, you is I can't remember the other one. You're part of the help. You are beautiful.
Okay.
You're
right.
beautiful.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're like that. Is it like a Geico commercial with a little Pinocchio, or is it one of those commercials where he lies and his nose stretches every time he tries to say something positive? Yeah.
Cut up for real. I'm gonna get you back though. I'll be quiet now, but I'll be talking again.
Well, it's all good. But no, it's really good to be here. I'm glad, we had the opportunity to hang out on Monday on my show, and here we is again and having this conversation, and we really do need to keep this going. I would agree with Sister Modell, a.k.a. Lorinda, as you call her, Ever Ready. We know her as Sister Modell. Pass the offering plate.
There it is. Send the love offering, y'all. Send the love offering. Toy got it so hot, Chris, that my wig sends. So y'all, I need that love offering to get my new wig. I'm just letting y'all know.
We'll do a special offer after the show.
There it is. Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
Hey, Sister Modell, you can just go call my mama because she got you covered. I went in her house last week. She ain't listening, so I can say this. I went in her house last week. Went in one room, she had about 5 wigs. Went in another, she had about 18. I said, "Oh, I'm done. I'm going downstairs now."
There we go. Me and Mom see eye to eye. Right on, Mom. Right on. There it is.
I hope she don't listen to this call. I ain't getting no invitations back. No, but in all seriousness, Toy, it's good to be here, and I appreciate it. And so for the listening audience, and we have come a full circle from where we were to where we are. But I'm a testimonial of hope and to where it is, because I'm a mess, as my girlfriend would say. In her QE class, they call it at the church, Queen Elizabeth class, they say the goal is to go from a hot mess to just being a mess, because we're going to always be a work in progress. And so I am a true work in progress. I ain't there yet, but there's a construction sign every corner I turn is a reminder of God's grace and His mercy and His goodness in my life. So we've come this far, and so where we've come from, where we were, I say a BBC, broken, busted, and confused. We were a broken ego, bruised spirit, and a confused soul. And so at the end of the day, when I went through my challenge and going from, being in what I thought was a monogamous committed marriage, being in a marriage for 12 years and going through the process of going through, a season of divorce and, going through this, what we call the wilderness. Sometimes we make in our testimonial, we say, God, use me any way that you see fit, but you never know what that test is going to look like. Ren said earlier, when you pray for one thing, be prepared, because the storm is going to come. And when it does come, sometimes an umbrella is not going to equip you with what you need, but faith will. And so through it all, faith is that substance of things hoped for. So some listener out there right now is just saying, look, I don't see hope. I've been in this situation, in this predicament for far too long. And I get it. I feel it. I felt it. I know I've been in some tests that I've passed, others that I've not, but I'm still standing. In the words of, Bishop Paul Morton, I'm still standing. At the end of the day, no matter how much pain that it costs to walk away from the family that, I built as a man, to go through the pain, anguish, and suffering, I see a God, though, who is forgiving. I see a God who opens up His arms and who welcomes me still as His son. And, in fact, that I am in the words of Dr. Tony Evans, I am a kingdom man. So as a kingdom man, that means I have a relationship with Him, and that is the key right now. And because I have that relationship, I know who I am and whose I am in Him, and that He gives me strength. And so at the end of the day, what was broken is now the breach has been repaired. This is a year, I heard Pastor Jenkins say this yesterday for us. I claim the theme that this is a year of surrender for me, but our theme at my church, at the First Baptist Church of Glenarden, is a year of restoration. And so it is, we have to decree it, declare it, and demand it. I saw that earlier by Melanie Bonita, so I give her credit for that. And I would say to a listener, demand it, decree it, and declare it, because you're walking into 2015 with a clean slate. And so even though you've walked out of something, and whatever that door that was closed, there's another one waiting to open. And where you are is not where you're going. It's just a process of where you've come from. And God is still working it out. So I know I'm talking as an evangelist tonight, stepping into the zone, but I want to encourage someone that if you were like me, in a relationship, in a marriage, and it failed, you're not a failure. God still has His hand on you, and just like the potter, He already knows where He's going with you. It may just take a little bit more time and a little bit more water, but the water is the word. And so that means that if you're going to be a pliable you must get in the Word. So I have made a sacrifice. When I started this journey going through some of the pain, I got up at 5 a.m. as my daily time with God and to do my devotional time for, I call it my hour of power. 5 a.m. in the morning before I went out to work. I used to work in corporate myself, and went out to work prior to that. That was what I would do. And so from that, I fed my mind and my spirit. Sometimes we're feeding ourselves the wrong thing. So, there was a quote that I had, a couple of them. I want to share these with your listeners if I can.
Sure,
if you would.
Absolutely.
Dale Carnegie said this: inaction breeds doubt and fear. He said that action breeds confidence and courage. Then he said, if you want to conquer fear, do not sit at home and think about it. Go out and get busy. So I want to encourage somebody, it's time now to go out and get busy. This is a new year. It's a bright opportunity. Yep, you may have gone through some weeping and some moaning, but yet I know that just around the corner there's a new opportunity, and it's called joy. If you can just look up, you can get up in the eyes of, in words of Les Brown. Then Eleanor Roosevelt said, you gain strength. You gain strength and courage and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You must do the thing which you think you cannot do. Then there's another quote that I brought to the table tonight. I want to share this with your listeners too. And that was the quote by William Allen White. He says, I'm not afraid of tomorrow, for I have seen yesterday and I love today. That's powerful. I've seen yesterday and I love today. But then I want to give one of my most favorite quotes right here. And this right here is from John 14:6. It says, by Jesus himself, as he answered, he says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. And so I want to just kind of park it right there for a second there. That just means that if you didn't have a relationship with him, it's time now. It's never too late to get one with him. And so, yes, everyone that's on this phone has been through something. If a listener out there is listening, you stand right now not on your own morals and values and all of these things. You stand really on the struggles of someone else that went there before you, and now it's helped to give you strength. But at the end of the day, you can stay where you are and think that it's all you, or you can say, God, you know what, I surrender all. I think it was Bishop William McDowell. The song is I Surrender All, withholding nothing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
I love that song because I think that's so powerful, and that's where I had to get to. As Toy mentioned earlier, we all had a testimonial. So my testimonial was, here we were in this journey. Now we are coming out. I've had some relationships that I got into after I separated and went through the divorce process. Those didn't necessarily work out. See, I thought I was ready for something, but what I wasn't ready for was rejection. I couldn't handle rejection, and most of those things came internal. There were more internal conflicts than there were external. I'll say that again. Right. There were more internal conflicts going on than there were external. There are a lot of indicators that go off. Was I ready? No, I wasn't really ready. And so people ask the question, are you ready today? I always say this to people. You never know where you are until you get into your next relationship. Then you see where you are or where you're not. I always tell my girlfriend that the great conversations that we have give us an opportunity to know how to pray for one another. When we have a conversation that is spirited, whether it's around how do we deal with the blended family and to look forward into this thing, and how do we deal with that, or how do we deal with the faith-based relationship? Sometimes you may be here or this person may be here. It's okay, because at the end of the day, we have to learn how to appreciate each other's differences and celebrate each other's experiences. So, you may have experienced this, but I celebrate her because where her faith is going, not where her faith is. And that's what we have to learn how to do. Here's something that's powerful. She said, we took a road trip today down to see her grandmother, and I just love her family. I so enjoyed that. This was so great. We got a chance. We just took a day trip down. I would encourage somebody to do that if you get the opportunity. I met her grandmother. She was so sweet. 90 years young, y'all. She put on some
awesome.
lipstick for me. She put on a little lipstick for me. She probably didn't, but she put on a little lipstick. She looked so pretty. Then I got a chance to meet her uncle. Good people, you know what I mean? And it was so great. But on the ride back, we got a chance to do a little more talking than we did on the ride down, because I probably wasn't a good co-passenger, because I was doing the same thing I was doing when I came on your show called Gibbs Disease. So on the road trip back, we got a chance to talk. And I want to speak this to the ladies that are listening here on your show. she said something to me that spoke life into me significantly, and I don't know if she realized it or not. She said to me, and she turned the radio down, she said, this is almost prophetically speaking. She said, you are a wonderful father. And my prayer for you that in 2015, as you move forward, is that you'll believe that. Mm-hmm. And she said that there are certain things, yes, you've been through a lot, but there are things that you didn't cause. And you can't wear the burden or the pain of something that you did not do. See, what happens is that
That's right.
we go through, and you were saying this earlier, Toy, about the absence of your daughter's father being there. We go through things, and we stay stuck. And for me, I'm stuck in a kind of a place where the one thing I didn't want to do is ever be like my mom, in a sense, and my dad, going through relationship after relationship and still getting it wrong, Right. And so but I'm not, though. And so she's spoken to me and said, you're not that person. And that spoke life into me. That meant a lot. And when she said, you are a great father, she spoke life into my future, not the pain of my past. That blessed me. That's it. So the ladies, what I say is that, I said this before on my show, you got to learn how to speak into the spirit of a man and not just the flesh of a man. So if you learn how to appeal to his spirit, the words that she spoke there, I know I got to keep her now. There's no doubt of it, because you spoke into my, first of all, you said my spirit man, and you also fed my ego. Mm-hmm. And the ego is yet so fragile. This, it says the flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing. She's spoken to that, and that made such a difference. Such a difference.
Oh, that's amazing. That's awesome. What other advice would you have? Because as we're talking about the bringing back our families, we're also, in the midst of our great conversations, we're also talking about how to kind of like preventative maintenance. The same way you do preventative care for everything else, we need to do preventative care for the family so we can make sure it stays together. So in the dating process, in your lessons learned, what is your greatest lesson, in that phase before marriage? What is your greatest lesson? Because I know you've learned a lot and you shared some good ones.
I think the greatest lesson for me is that to trust in God, but you're going to make mistakes.
Right.
There's no such thing as a quarterback stepping into and on the field and not making a mistake. I mean, he's going to make a mistake, whether he misses a pass, and sometimes you can throw the ball, but once you release the ball, it's up to the catcher, the receiver, to catch the ball. So everything doesn't hinge on you. But as the quarterback, I'm speaking to the men now, as the quarterback, it's up to you, though, to see the ball, to see the field. You know what I mean? And you got to sometimes call an audible and not be afraid that, okay, cool, you made a mistake. There's another opportunity waiting around the corner. It's not the end of it.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Way.
No, that's really good. I know, I love it, because a lot of times we make things more complicated than what they really are. So I love the fact that you were able to condense it into a pure thought, so that people can not only digest it but can really apply it to their lives. I love that. Lorinda, going to jump back up there. Ladies and gentlemen who are on in the studio tonight, what are your thoughts, Lorinda? What's your greatest lesson outside that you can give to a single person who wants to create that family? They've never been married yet. There are some out there, kind of believe it or not, and we want to make sure we speak to those people too.
Yes.
So.
Yes. For those who are single who want to be married, I would suggest, my advice to you is do the work. One of the things that, so I'll start with this. One of the things that we often do as women, we pray about the man. Lord, send me this type of man. Send me this type of man. But one of the things that shifted for me is I said, hold up. Let me stop praying for God to send me this type of man, and let me ask God to prepare me to be the wife for the man he has for me. So one of the things I would tell singles right now, if that is your desire to be married, You want that companionship. Don't go looking for the person. Don't go praying for the person. Pray and ask God to prepare you to be the person. And understand now, like I said earlier, when you go and you ask God to prepare you, He's going to dig up some things.
Be ready. Get ready.
Be ready. Because there's some things that you don't even understand that's so deeply down in you that He has to bubble up to the surface so that you can get rid of a lot of things that there's stains on your soul. So He has to eradicate those. But God is such a loving God, Toy. He's so honorable, too. He understands our desires. He understands all of that. But you know what? First and foremost, with all of those desires, He wants you to desire Him first. He wants you to desire to be all that you can be. I'm going to take the Army's little quote. All that you can be in His family first. So seek Him. Seek Him. And I'm telling you, He'll do the work, and it will come. It will come. You got to know it. You got to believe it. You got to be excited for it. Just continue. As I am where I am right now, and I say, Lord, you're doing this work in me. And, every once in a while, I ain't going to lie, I get down. Where my boo?
Right,
but I'm
girl.
excited. But I'm excited because I know God is preparing me. And He has that
heart.
Man.
Yes,
I'm expecting it. I'm excited. Oh, Lord, continue to work on me.
Too.
So when He show up, I'm ready, and we're going to rock and roll. The Obamas ain't got nothing on us.
Yeah. Right? Honey, that is me too. I feel the same way. And look, that resonated in my spirit. I jumped up out the chair right there. I jumped up about 2 feet from the ground. Right there.
That's my thing. I'm a cheerleader at heart, y'all. I'm a cheerleader. I'm going to cheer you on. Just get excited.
Yes.
It will happen. It will happen. But work on you first.
Yes. That's awesome. And I just want to add to that, you need to shift your focus. If you are single, shift the focus from the point of lack and what you don't have in your life and who you don't have in your life, and shift your focus to a place of abundance. I am grateful for this. I am grateful for this. I am grateful for this. I am grateful that you are preparing the one who is supposed to be here with me, Lord, because I trust you. You have to change your mindset so you can change your life because you get what you focus on. So if you're focused on an area of what you consider lack, God in His infinite wisdom, He knows what's best for you. So He's only going to have in your life what He feels is best for you. And those seasons of those do come and go. That's all a part of the process. So you got to trust God with your journey. You've got to trust God with your journey. It does not necessarily mean that person that's not with you anymore won't come back. But if he does, it'll be the way God wants him to, or the way God wants her to, not the way you want it to be, because He knows ultimately what's best. Oh, my goodness. Debbie and Edward, go ahead. No, you first. Go ahead and finish your point, and then I definitely want Debbie and Edward to jump in with their advice, too.
I just wanted to leave your listeners with this. The Word of God tells us that our names are written on the palm of God's hand. Now, every day, folks, just look at this. Every day you look at your hands, do you not? That should let you know if your name is written on the palm of God's hand, He sees you. He sees you. He sees you. He knows all about you, and He knows what you need, want, and desire. Understand that. So he can't forget you because you're there. You're etched on His hand. He cannot forget you. So I encourage you, He got you. Literally, He got you. He sees you every day. I just want you to know that. I just want to encourage someone.
That's so good, because somebody out there needs to hear it, or else it would not come into your spirit to say. That's why I wanted to. When you were about to come in, I was like, no, let me make sure because somebody needs it. Whatever it is, somebody needs that out there. And just know that if no one else has told you that you are loved, we love you. All of us here on this show, we love you dearly, and that's why we're here. That's why we're discussing uncomfortable things that most people think are uncomfortable to talk about. We're not afraid. We're being strong and very courageous for you so that you can be strong and very courageous and overcome in your own lives. That's why we're here. Edward and Debbie, what advice do you have as we close out the show in this last segment?
Listen, to the single folks that are out there, and seeking that partner, and, they look on relationship, such as ours or other relationships out there and said, man, I want to be like that, I want a relationship like that, but where's this man, why is he taking forever to get here, or where's this woman, why is she taking forever to get here? And so, without waiting on God, without allowing God to direct your path, you start to, get involved in the compromise and stuff, like I've always stated. Well, maybe if I do this, or maybe if I'm not so much this, or before you know it, you start to peeling away your core values. You start to peeling away your character. You start to peeling away who you are. Just accommodate the relationship, But I'm here to tell you that whenever you compromise your values and principles to accommodate your relationship, you would have already started your divorce before even getting married.
Well,
so don't even
say it.
That. Just trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding. And that's all you have to do. God, if it takes me another 20 years, I'm going to wait on you, because I know when Mr. Right comes, he's going to be right on point.
That's right. That's so true.
That's right. Mm.
And what I have to add to that is, make sure that the words you are speaking, the things that you're feeding your mind, and what you claim you want are all in alignment.
Woo!
Sometimes we are saying one thing with our mouth, that this is what we want, but our actions, the way we behave, and the things we feed our mind is saying something completely different. And we attract the things that we think about. We attract the things that we, surround ourselves with. And so just make sure that you know what you want, or you have an idea of what God has in mind for you, and that your behavior, your actions, your words are all in alignment with that. That's all I have to say.
That was a lot right there. That was a lot right there. Oh, my goodness.
There was.
Oh, gosh. That's so needed, though. That's so needed. That's that medicine. It doesn't go down all that great, but it's good for your soul.
Yes.
That girl, you took the words right out of my. I said, what's the one thing? Castor oil.
Castor oil.
That's that castor oil right there. Oh, my goodness. But it's needed, though. It's needed. I mean, because we have to come to a place where we're honest. And here's where it happens, when we're honest with ourselves. Because you can't be honest with anyone else in a relationship until you're honest with yourself first.
Absolutely.
So true.
And until you do that.
Woo. Wow. Are you there?
I am. Girl, plain in the spirit. Chris, come on out.
Go ahead.
I mean,
before you do that, it's like,
I mean, because all of us, at first I thought you were going to say something, but then you were breathing, and then Debbie was still breathing. All of us were just like slain in the spirit at the same time. I was like, Lord, you're going to let this happen at the same time to all of us. I just know it. And then, Lord, behold, it really happened. It happened. And God was like, yup, right on air. I work just like that. I don't even care. I don't even care to it. I'm not a respecter of persons nor airways. If I'm going to slay you, I'm going to slay you.
My.
Oh, my goodness. But,
that's good.
Oh, my. Chris, what?
What's that? Go ahead and ask your question, Tor.
No, you go ahead. Go first, and then I'll ask the question afterwards, because this is this topic right here is serious.
I want to give you, what I typically do at the beginning of the year, I always think about a fresh start, and a fresh slate. And, we start off with the new year thinking, this is my year, this is my season, and we start claiming that. And after we get past January 31st, we start kind of falling back into some of our old patterns, routines, and behaviors. And so I'm going to challenge the listeners as I put this challenge out for myself, and it's learning how to reframe things. Toy, you said it right on the money. Kind of basically, it's the law of attraction. What you put out there, you are attracting. And you're wondering why I can't get a man, or why I don't have a man, or why I'm not in a healthy relationship. And it's because you keep bringing up and taking your old into your new. And you don't realize it because unconsciously you're not aware of your behavioral pattern. And Debbie hit it right on the head as well, what she stated. I don't know why y'all got me following her, but, I mean, come on now. I want to give the listeners a little bit of hope. So I'm going to give you a free kind of couple of tools here, some resources that you can use right now to apply certain things. So let this be noted. You've got to speak good. And so that means saying things like, I can do it. I've done this before. I'm going to get through this. This too shall pass. I was built for this. I'm better than this. You got to learn how to speak life over that thing. Whether you're reading a scripture, reading Hebrews if you want to walk through faith, or you go into Ephesians and start reading the first 3 chapters there, you've got to speak that thing into existence. I was reading the other day Psalms 34 and Psalms 37. I would encourage you all to read Psalms every day. I would also encourage you to be a proverbian, to read a Proverbs every day, because Proverbs speaks wisdom. You get wisdom. See, one thing is that we have experiences, but an experience without wisdom is foolishness, because what you do is, and without God, it's even less. Your word gives you wisdom. The word is God. And if you take that and start applying that, that strengthens your faith. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. And so when you get into that word, it starts to permeate the core of who you are. And so, yep, you made some mistakes. You've had some failures, but I can do this. I'm going to get through this. This too shall pass. So you start saying those things, and lo and behold, as you start to say them, you start to believe it. So my last tip for you, I gave you a couple things for good. I want you to say these things you've got to learn how to do. And remember these things. It's not the situation that changes you. It's your choices that do. Okay? No situation really, it's at what you do after the situation encounters determines your outcome. So we got to learn how to reframe things. So in order to reframe things, we've got to put down the hammer and some nails. So we got to bring your mind and the imagination to the table now. Because true reframing allows you to see things differently once you've removed the denial out of the way. And a lot of us are in denial. I'll give you, for instance, with me, Toy. Being that I'm in a new relationship, a new committed monogamous relationship, there are things when it comes to my kids. I have an 11-year-old and a 14-year-old, both are girls, that I'm bringing a certain level of baggage. We all got baggage, whether it's a big suitcase, small suitcase, carry-on, travel size, whatever. We all got baggage because no one is perfect. We are imperfect people. But I've been in denial about certain things when it comes to the interactions with my kids. And so it is a challenge when you're in denial and you're not willing to just open your eyes and see it for what it is. When someone brings truth to you, are you ready to reframe it? Are you ready to face it? And it will take a minute, so have patience for yourself. And then your story can be repaired. I want you all to know your story can be repaired. You have to believe in the power. Negative beginnings can still have positive endings. So we learned this in the story. Remember The Wizard of Oz? I just watched that the other day, the real one, back in 1978. With Dorothy.
The original,
The original. Hey, Toy, this is my new ringback. I'm getting this. I forgot her name. She was saying, don't bring me no bad news, don't bring me no bad news. That's going to be my ringback. Don't you bring me no bad news.
I love it. I love it. Look, all of us might make that right there gives me life. Don't bring me no bad news.
Don't bring no bad news. Absolutely. Don't have time for that. So, but Dorothy learned a very important lesson in the Wizard of Oz. She learned belief and confidence. The power was already in her. What's happening is that some of us have had so many setbacks, pain, and rejection, and that we've allowed that to rob us of our confidence. So you've got to remember that negative experiences in her situation only taught her what she already knew and what she needed to prepare for her future. So remember this, what you're looking for may already be in you or just one experience away. But if you don't take wisdom from the Word, it's going to be hard because you're going to rely only on your experiences. And if your experience was only negative, that's a problem because you're taking that negative experience and bringing that to that new man or to that new woman who may be part of your future. Or toy, when something reminds you of an old experience, you immediately put that in the box.
Right.
Take God out of the box, you can experience God's fullness and His blessing. Because there is no box, as we say. And then at the end of the day, if you had a bad experience with someone, whether it's an ex or whatever, you know what you need to do? You need to learn how to thank them for the experience. Anytime that there's an offender that has done something to us, real overcoming and saying, you know what, thank the offender for helping you to get one step closer to your destiny. So the pain of what you went through was meant to prepare you for the promise of what's on the way. And Michael Jordan, think about this, Michael Jordan could not have been who he was to this day and had achieved all that he did had he not been cut from the team. He had to thank his coach for that experience. Some of us need to be cut. Yeah. Some of us have to cut some people. And in going into 2015, you can't carry some of these old tarnishing relationships into a new blessing. And that's the problem. Some of us need to learn how to let things go, but we've got to start to learn how to reframe it. So I'm going to pass it back over to Debbie, and I think that if we go that way, Toy, or I answer your questions, we can learn how to break free from some of these things that have been hindering us.
I agree. Debbie?
She on break right now?
I know, right?
She on break.
I know, right?
She on break. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Oh, my goodness.
I'm like the little old lady with the hand up, walking out real quick. I'm back. I'm
put
back.
A little finger. She put
a little finger up.
up.
Listen, I think we have covered so much information tonight. You know, we've looked at relationships. We've looked at, you know, when you're hurt, when you're broken, what you need to do. We've looked at when you're ready to get back into a relationship, what you need to do. We've given hope because guess what? If God can do it for us, if God can do it for Chris, you know, there's no reason that He can't and won't do it for you. What we need to do is trust Him. I think we try to go ahead of God. We just know, you know, this is the one for us. And especially us ladies, you know, don't meet a guy today and start planning your wedding. Come on.
What? Right.
You know.
Say that again.
This is not Cinderella. It's not going to be, you know, in an hour and a half, and now we're going to live happily ever after. You're running the men off. They're afraid of you.
Right.
Because after one date, you're ready to set the wedding date. We need to take our time. So many of us are in such a rush. You know, the biological clock is ticking. Everybody else is getting married. You know, and we paint these fantasies in our heads. We create these stories in our heads, and we just believe them. We believe them. You know what? Stop building these stories in your mind and get some truth in you. Really study the Word of God and see what His plan is for your life. Who does He say you are? What does He say you can do? Who does He say you can become? And begin to focus on that. Let the Lord lead you. Let Him guide you. Be patient. Stop being in such a rush. Stop chasing the men away because you're busy planning a wedding. Some of you don't even go on the date yet, and you're setting a wedding date. You know, stop.
Got invitations and everything.
I'm telling you, everything's planned out. They got the bridesmaids' dresses picked out. They got the venue picked out, and the guy hasn't even looked at them yet. And listen, I'm not saying that, there are not times when God gives you a prophetic word and he tells you, listen, I have somebody for you. He may very well show you that person, and you know that it's going to be that person. Wait on God to tell him that he's the person. You don't go tell him that God said we're going to get married. The man is going to run.
Right.
My husband, when we do workshops, he usually says, women were not made to chase men, and men don't like to be chased. And a lot of times the women get all, what do you mean? Because I know what I want, and what's wrong with going after it? There's an order. God created an order to thing. And until we stop trying to go against that order, we're in trouble. We need to go back to the original plan and let God do what he said he and only he can do. We cannot do what God can do. So take your time, ladies.
That is so true.
Be patient.
No, yes. And that, as we come to a close, we have about 5 minutes left in the show. Lorinda, in about, I guess, I know this is not easy, but if you,
I know you're not going to try to put a time limit on it.
I was going to say, if you don't mind, can we just stop the conversation here, and we will continue this great conversation with all four next quarter in our Bring Back the Families Part 2. We're going to do this every quarter because there's no way that we can ever really cover everything in one show. This is just, I am loving that this was the first show of the year. Now I understand why God put it in my spirit for this to be the first show of the year, because this sets the tone for the rest of the year. It sets the pace for the rest of the year in terms of the hope that's needed for people on the first day of the new year. Because, in the midst of us saying, we've let old things be, forgotten, whatever that song. I don't know that song, but I can remember parts of it, but I don't ever sing it because I'll be like, nah, 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 nah. But you want to, I'm so serious. But in the midst of moving forward, learn the lessons. We want to say we're moving on. We want to say we're moving forward, but have you learned the lessons so that you can continue to move forward with progress? Because the one thing you don't want to do is repeat the same lessons in 2015 that you should have learned in 2014 and the years prior. So in this bringing back our families and rebuilding the family and getting us to a place where we're powerful in God, because really that's where it is. We need to stop doing the power struggles among ourselves and understand that the source of power that's within us is where we need to start. And then everything else flows out of that, because he is the center of our life. He is the source. And so he is he is the nucleus of the family unit, no matter how many people you have. Even if it's just you in your house, single person, not married, no children, it's you, the dog, and Jesus. It's you, the cat, and Jesus. It's you, even if you don't have any pets. It's you and Jesus. You are still a unit. You are still a family. So, and that's why he says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. You are never alone. That's the beauty of it. No matter how many people are in your household, you're still not by yourself. And we really want you to understand that. And the last thing, parting thought, as we close tonight, time flies when you're having fun. And everybody, thank you so much for being here with me. You all are like family. And I love the fact that you all were here to do the Bring Back Our Family show. This has just been amazing. As we close out, for those of you out there, just remember, if you don't remember anything, hopefully you remember everything. Be sure to listen to the podcast, because there's something I'm sure that you missed in the midst of our laughing and stuff. We gave some really serious points, but we had fun, and that's what we do. But in the midst of everything, in the midst of learning your lessons, be sure, ladies and gentlemen, in the midst of everything, understand that action determines your destiny, and inaction deactivates your destiny. be sure to pay attention to actions. Don't go by promises this year in 2015. Don't go by what people say. Let them show you, let them prove to you that they are who they say that they are. And invest your time accordingly. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us. And ladies and gentlemen, you were going to do this again. So this is not goodbye. This is just, we'll talk to you later. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I know, this has been an amazing show. Woo, woo. Oh, my gosh, this has been an amazing show. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much, Edward. Thank you so much, Debbie. Thank you so much, Lorinda. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Love y'all.
Love you, too. Have a good night.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.
Thanks, Roy.
Night, guys.
Night.
Thanks so much for joining us today. And until next time, join our hashtag #IgniteYourLife Facebook group for more sparks during the week to help you ignite your life and live the epic life now you deserve today. Always remember, love people, trust God, pray always, and expect victory.